up to this point, all of our navbar examples have been lists like LIs inside a nav tag, well, inside a UL, inside a nav tag, which I actually think would have been a better structure for this content. So usually you don't lay your nav out with just a whole bunch of A's inside it. It's typically a list. It's not in this case, so we actually don't have to do anything special in order to get them to go next to each other. But we do have to affect some spacing here between them, and to the left of them it looks like, actually mostly between them. We need to be able to affect their height, which means A is going to give us, the A tag is going to give us some trouble. And this one needs to be all the way over. So my first question is, how do I differentiate this last link with these other links using only what I know so far? In the glorious future, you'll find other ways to talk about the last child in the container, or you may have learned it if you've been playing the CSS Diner game. So in the browser, I'm looking to see if I have any way to tell them apart from each other. I don't, and I haven't learned the fancy way to talk about the last child in the container, so I'm going to put some kind of class or ID on this particular one so that I can tell it apart from its mates. So something like class equals last. And I'll also narrow it to the only the nav so I don't get myself into trouble later. So this might say nav A with a class of last on it. The class of last on it. I can't talk and type at the same time. We're going to put that over on the right hand side. Well, how do we know how to do that? Float right. Save and refresh. There. Okay, now comes the fun part, where we need to make the hover links look right, and the links just need to look better in general. So let's give them a bunch of padding around each one, like say an M of padding. I really should put this down on the in the layout area, and maybe I'll do that in a minute. I'm not in the habit of separating layout out, like, but it probably would be a good move. What is the, okay, and so that is not doing anything for me top to bottom. Look at that. What a bummer. And look at this. Oh, that's trouble because it looks like this nav bar now doesn't understand that that link is in it. But this whole problem with my padding that I'm having, if I mouse over, look, it knows about the padding, but its parent doesn't know about the padding. Hey, we've seen this problem before. And when we saw it, it was because A tags were acting like too much like inline elements, and they needed to be a little bit more block-like. So I'm gonna inch them towards block by saying that they are inline block, and then see how far that gets me. Save, refresh. Quite far. How wonderful. Now if I mouse over, you can see it really does understand my padding. This would be a good time to hit the hover color. Oh, I don't know if I did I do that before? Nav A hover background color. It should be actually, I feel like it should be switching, but it's not. Bit weird. Let's see. There's a way that you can, here we go. For state. So this is really, I wanted to show you this, but I couldn't remember where it was. So I'm clicking on the A tag because I'm wondering why the hover color isn't working when I hover over it. And I am, even if I hover over the actual link, yeah, the background color is not changing. If I right click on my A and then I say, here, I guess I have to click right on the tag itself. Then I can say break or force state. Oh, it's right out of view of the video, so let me see if I can get it into view for everybody here by scrolling. Okay, so if I click here and then I say force state hover, so I can see, see, look at that, nav A hover. And then I go down and it's being overridden by, by the normalized CSS. How funny. Anybody else overriding? No, it's just being overridden by normalized CSS, which is a bit weird. Did I make a mistake? I bet it shouldn't be being overridden by that, so I bet I have a typo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I do. I have 7 Ds and I should have 6. Okay. It's my problem. 7 Ds. Oh, and look, brackets is even trying to tell me by turning it red, and I was totally ignoring it. Set, Control S. Better. Okay. Does the link color change? Oh, it changes to black. The text of the text color changes to black. Okay. Also, it looks like I need to take the underlines off them. Hover is looking correct. Okay, let's get the underlines off that nav bar and then we should be in good shape. Nav A. Save and refresh. Okay, good. So the crux of our problem here was that these need to be a little bit more block-like. So I needed to change the display property to inline-block so that the nav bar would understand that they were as high as they actually are. Moving on for the next video.